Vino is wild cat. He's coming out. There's no need to feel guilty, Tamara. Trying to deceive us.
Do you think he was ready to leave?
No, Gash was feeling his head.
I think that's why a lot of people avoid the nominations.
He's also the only one who hasn't been up. He's not avoiding it, he's plotting. People clash heads.
She nailed it, guys. She nailed it, guys. If there's anybody who understands this Big Brother show, anybody that is joking with that babe, I pity you. Because this chick understands this game on an underground level. The analyzing is so on point. Like Mpho literally knows who is who. She knows this game. You guys. Okay, guys. So we literally had these guys have their very interesting conspiracy corner conversation, and guys, the conversations were loud. The first people who started this conversation was Themba and GASH1, and guys, content was spilling left, right and center. Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nthabil and you're welcome to another review episode of the Big Brother show. I'm talking about the conversations that happened immediately after the evictions, the live evictions that we experienced on Sunday, where 3 housemates left the show: Norman, Yuli and Vino, guys. So the house is literally hot. We've been expecting them to see we've been expecting to see what's up with this guys. And anyways, I'm here to share the content of what went down during the Sunday night conspiracy conversations around the corner. We know these conversations will still change. We don't know what's going to come up next, but I'm just giving you the gist, the way it happened. Guys, if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Nthabil, and in here, you guys know how it is. Please click on the subscribe button right now to be a part of this community. And also don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so that you will always get alerts of my video every time I share new content. If you are a returning family member, thank you so much for always stopping by to check out my videos. You guys, let's get down to the conversation. Now, literally guys, before we actually saw, it looks the very last people who actually got into that conspiracy corner was literally Mpho and Nthabil, guys. The very first set of people we saw in the corner, conspiracy corner, that place was GASH1 and Themba. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, you see these two groups, GASH1 and Themba, and Nthabil and Mpho. They're strong. Those two people, these two sets, I think they're the formidable four, if you ask me. They are the formidable four. So we literally saw GASH1 and Themba talk, and guys, he had a very interesting conversation. He talked about Sister Mara. Themba actually was talking about him, like confronting Sister Mara. You finally sent Vino home, right? Don't try to make up any funny faces because you literally did it on purpose. So literally it was more like Themba telling GASH1 that, hey, this Cape Side, South Side, or whatever, I don't know what. Well, I think it's like a place where Tools and Sister Mara comes from. So I think they have their own language from that part. I'm not from South Africa, so I really don't understand the conversation deeply, but I'm just saying it the way I think I understand it. So they were saying like, there's this family bond or brotherhood bond that is around to Sister Mara, and maybe basically that was why Vino was taken out of the box. And so there was conversations, and then Themba exposed the fact that he's into Venice, but he has a problem that he doesn't want. He actually said that he doesn't want to have anything to do with Nthabil anymore. And then we saw GASH1 giving a very awkward advice that she can give him this, and it was like, no, he's a very patient man, he doesn't need it, and he's going to run away from Nthabil. But before that, they actually talked about the conspiracy proper, and Themba actually told GASH1 plainly that he doesn't trust the other guys in the house, that these threesome circles, that he does not trust them. That is the Tools, Terry, and guys, Libo group. He said he doesn't trust them, that the only person he can form an alliance with is GASH1. He's a one-man standing, he looks like he's strong, he's very smart, that he loves the game he's playing. So they were just having some very, very interesting conversation. And then it was just a laughable thing. And then they were talking about who was strong and who wasn't strong. Themba talked about Venus, and then they were like, okay, maybe they should pick the weak ones. And they said, and you know, Themba was like, no, he's not going to pick Venus. And GASH1 was like, Venus is okay. No, Themba was actually saying that Venus is strong, and GASH1 was saying no, that Venus is not strong. That if they put her up for eviction, that she most likely will be leaving the house come Sunday. So I don't know, both of them are just acting like they had figured out the whole voting thing, how fans are thinking, or how people were leaving the house. And I'm like, if you guys are following, if you're following this your analysis based on how these guys had left the show on Sunday left it, then you guys will be in for a shocker. Because guys, whether you know this or not, I'm gonna still spell it to you. Sometimes these housemates are not evicted following their polls, because literally, guys, the first person that would have left the house was supposed to be Norman, because he had the lowest votes, and then Vinyl would have left after Norman. And guys, the third person that would have left the show was Yoli, but Yoli was the first person that left before these other people. So sometimes I don't know why Piggy does that, but I kind of find it very irritating and annoying that he does that. So I'm just looking at them like, okay, because they feel like Yuli left early, they feel like, oh, she didn't have a lot of fans and all that, you know, and conversations was loud. So away from Themba and GASH1, guys, we now really saw the some people have their, like, the three, what I don't even know what to call them, trial group. So we saw Tools, Libo, and you guys, Terry. And guys, I mean, Libo was like, the person he's nominating is Mpho. He doesn't trust her, he doesn't trust Nthabil, and Nthabil has started withdrawing from him. So because of that, they should be on the chopping block. Like, conversations was loud. And then there was this conversation from Tools. Tools was like that he'd rather like to nominate the people that were weak rather than people that were strong. And then Terry was like, no, it's better that we nominate people that are strong than people that are weak, so that we that are in the house will have more chances of winning the game or getting to the final. So it was like a tussle of which one to go for, the weak links or the strong links. Anyways, it ended up with them concluding that they were going to be nominating, according to them, Mpho definitely and Nthabil are going to be on the chopping block. Very, 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 very sure. I mean, with this conspiracy circle, we now know who might likely be going home. So they talked about Nthabil, they talked about Mpho, and you guys, they concluded on that. Of course, they talked about GASH1, and Terry kept on insisting that there's no way that GASH1 is a priority. GASH1 is a mandatory. Like, this one is like, is a must. There's no way she's gonna be picking people for nomination. She's not picking GASH1. I'm like, what did GASH1 do to you, Terry? Where is this beef coming from, Terry? Anyways, after that, right there, Tools was like, no, that he saw the weaker link to be Thato, and he was like that he doesn't want to compete with the strong guys. He knows GASH1 is strong, and guys, he also exposed the fact that he's the only one in that circle right now that has not been up for nomination, of course, and Sister Mara, you know. And then he's like, Sister Mara has a loud whatever because of his personality, so they feel like Sister Mara should be able to survive eviction. So we could clearly see that Tools was very uncomfortable. He was just bent on looking for who was the weak link, and then when they were looking for weak link, they said Thato, and they're like, Thato, which is it will shock Tools, I swear down. Their conversation was just making me laugh. And then anyway, Tools came to his own conclusion that he was going to definitely be nominating Thato, and you know, they talked a bit about the other housemates. The next thing, we actually saw Themba. They invited Themba to join them in their conspiracy corner, and then when they were asking for Themba's opinion, Themba was like, it's better that they pick the people with the weak links. And you know, when he asked of the weak links, I mean, Themba pointed out Sister Mara and Thato. And you know, you guys, Sister Mara in that picture, you guys know Tools. Sister Mara is like Tools' like, I don't know, helper in that place. So definitely picking Sister Mara would be an option. It would not be an option for Tools. And then it was quite very awkward, I'd say, to see Terry say, no, 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 no. Miss Sister Mara is playing her own game, that it's better they pick people that are strong. And I'm like, why is Terry like protecting Sister Mara? Like, I don't even understand this Terry one. I do not. And so Terry kept on saying that Sister Mara is always saying that she doesn't know anything that happens in the house because she's playing a solo game, and her game is focused on winning tasks. Like, she has a very focused game. And then guys, literally after that, I was even thinking that Venice and Nali would not join, because these guys were literally, Venice, Nali, and Sister Mara were literally the people that I had not seen the conspiracy cycle. Well, thankfully, guys, we later saw Nali and Venice. You know, I think Nali came in first, and Millie Themba left. Nali joined them. They had a conversation. They now decided on the 4 people that they were going to be picking, and the 4 people they decided was Mpho, Nthabil, GASH1, and Thato. Guys, so this was, and of course Venice was also there with them. So right now, guys, I don't know, but it looks like we have 3 groups in the house, and these 3 groups in the house is Mpho and Nthabil, which is a formidable group. And then we have the Themba and the GASH1, which is another formidable group, because those 4 people have been up for nomination for like 3 times, I guess, and they've survived it. So all the other housemates know that these guys are very, very strong. Terry just came for the first time, she survived, so nobody knows how strong she is. And then we now have the other set of people. So guys, it is literally those 3 major groups that are in the house. But at the end of the whole conspiracy, we didn't see Sister Mara in any of the groups. I don't know, but she is definitely playing a solo game, if you ask me. At the end of the day, we saw them pick Nthabil, Mpho, Thato, and guys, who was the last person now? Sister Mara. And you know, 2 said no. 2 said no to that, and what's her name? Terry said no to Sister Mara being an option. And I'm like, okay, you guys, maybe during the eviction nomination proper, we'll get to know who you guys eventually pick. And guys, the conversation was very interesting, but the most interesting part of this conversation was the conversation that happened between Mpho and Nthabil. Guys, I'm not even gonna lie, you see this Mpho and Nthabil, that click strong like mad. They're so strong. Like, Mpho was hitting the, she was hitting the nail on the head, like boom, boom. So according to Mpho, the weakest link in that house is Tools. And guys, I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait to see if Tools is going to be on the eviction list or the nomination list. Hey, let's see how he's going to survive if he actually gets in, because we know people like Mpho and Nthabil are definitely could be mentioning Tools. So guys, here's a summary of the whole conspiracy that happened. For GASH1 and Themba, you guys know that these guys are just against these other guys, the Libo, the Terry. I mean, because they actually talked about Terry being the one that nominated Norman, like they are very sure. So very likely that Norman, that the Themba and the GASH1 family, because Themba has been a very deadly game, because Themba will conspire with GASH1, and then we'll still come back and conspire with these other 3 guys. But then Themba has already told us his stand. The stand is he believes that GASH1 is a very strong opponent. I mean, at the point, they were talking about the H2H thing, and GASH1 was asking, I mean, that's why you just need to win the H2H so you can save 1 person. And then it was like, you save Venice now. And I was like, no, I cannot compare. I cannot compare. How did he even put it? He said like something like, I cannot compare a cat with a lion. I'm like, okay, so if you win H2H, you're going to pick GASH1 as deputy. Is that what you mean? Anyways, we're going to see what's going to happen, how everything is going to play out. But literally, from the whole conversations, what we could, the summary of it all is that these guys know who the weak links are. And of course, they've mentioned Tools as a weak link. In their mind, they think Thato is a weak link. I don't know if Thato is a weak link, but they've mentioned her. GASH1 has mentioned Venice as a weak link. We don't know if she's going to be a weak link. And you guys, those other guys are threatened by GASH1 because they feel like this guy needs to be, Terry especially. I don't know why Terry is having so much beef for the people that she's supposed to be loving. I mean, I thought she had a crush on GASH1. Anyways, but it was quite interesting to see Nali, you know, nominate Thato, and she's forming nice closeness with them. To also see her say, okay, I'm cool with GASH1 being nominated. Like, anyways, it was quite interesting to see Nali, like, because at the end of the whole conspiracy thing, we still saw Nali go and hug Thato, GASH1, Baba again, like this conspiracy thing. It is real backstabbing. We're here for the gist. And guys, there was this interesting conversation that happened between Terry and Venice that made me look at these girls like, are you guys serious? I mean, they talked about their guys leaving the house, like, okay, a good thing, like, that the guys were distracting them from their game. I mean, we could clearly hear people like Venice say V was there, came to find love, and Terry was concurring to what she was saying. I'm like, I don't understand. And then she was like, she was just not acting like she really liked BU in that conversation. I'm like looking at it, but she said anyways, anything could happen. Maybe when she gets out of the house in the outside world, things will get real, and then they could do something or be something or be an item. Guys, the conversation was loud, and I've been looking at Terry like the emotions. I was expecting her to be like, seriously, Terry is a gangster. She got my respect on this one. Like, she didn't cry, she didn't do like all those wishy things. She was just hard girl thing. Like, anyways, I see you, Alpha female. I see you. Guys, literally, this is it. Of course, I'll be back here with more updates on what's up with the show. But I can't help but shake my head at these conspiracies that are happening, and let's just look out for who's going to be. But guys, if I were to ask, who do you think is really the weak links? Like, if you were to nominate, who would you want to be out to see out of the show? Because at some point I was beginning to get confused with how these people were nominating and thinking of the weak people. Like, seriously, when they were saying Thato was weak, I was like, seriously, is Thato weak? Okay, I don't know. Let me not just say anything, but it's obvious that they have their own thoughts about who is weak and who is strong. Of course, they feel like Nali is strong because she's quiet, because she's been. So you survive nomination, you're strong. Basically, that's what the housemates are thinking. But we'll get to find out what happens more on the nomination come Monday, after the Monday, head of house challenge games. I'm gonna see you guys very soon.